Okay, some more over there at the Jefferson County Washington's Post. And this gal's saying to David Johnson, she's just giving her opinion on the whole bathroom issue and stuff, and says that, David Johnson, you're mocking women and our right to safe spaces. You're mocking elder women and their right to be not to be viewed unclothed. You're mocking young girls. You're mocking us all. And he says, I am unsure of your idea that I'm mocking women. What does being elderly have to do with the rest of your concerns? So clearly he's an abusive male. He doesn't have any regard for women's rights or that an elder should be respected. Someone who's vulnerable, someone, even if he believed that she was confused or she, maybe she didn't know about this modern pride movement or whatever, why be unkind to her? Why call her a bigot and a Nazi? And what, the YMCA manager, sorry, I stammered there a little bit because the YMCA management has protective orders against me. I'm banned from the YMCA. But I'm sure that this came from her. Libby Winstrom says that she spread to everybody, and so did the Wendy Bart CEO in her call voicemail to city manager John Morrow, that Julie Jamon said that the person was going to, force himself onto these young girls, and that I'm so confused. The YMCA individual was helping the young girls undress. Well, everybody's, YMCA management, Wendy Bart, they and Libby, all these people say, no, this person was not helping the kids undress. But the person went on a podcast and on their 911 call and said, yes, that they were. So that, whatever you think about, that's irrelevant. But the fact that you don't think that someone who's 80 should be factored into the concern at all is very cruel. Okay, this man is mansplaining. He's abusing women. He's using the trans issue to bully, berate, and control women. He's obviously smarter and better than probably every woman he knows or has ever known. So he says, that's the same rhetoric that kept black people out of the whites-only bathroom. Right. To not want to respect an elder woman, to for her to be, whether it's scared or whatever, uncomfortable with someone who has a penis in the bathroom, uncomfortable with a deep voice, and speak out. And then why not just say, someone like me would have found solutions on both sides and made both sides feel good about everything. There's no reason for what the YMCA did to Julie Jamon. And it's nothing to do with black segregation, okay? If it's interesting, a friend of mine that lives local, her son was like, why are you going down there? I mean, why aren't you sticking up for, the trans community? And I went up to him, he's like 22, and he works at a gym in Silverdale. And I walked up to him, I put my breasts right close, and I said, so if I'm next to you in the gym locker room and you're like naked and I'm naked and I got my girl parts and I identify as a man, are you okay with that? I kind of bumped into him. And he said, oh, I get it. Right? So men aren't comfortable with it either. So people like David Johnson using the trans movement to abuse and bully women, it's about mansplaining why, and some sort of a thesis that he does on why men have more rights than women, why men like him know more about it all than women. Men know more about what women need and want than women. Okay? So it's sad that you can't see this. It's sad that you can't see this, Mr. Johnson. But you're clearly anti-trans, as you cannot even correctly identify trans women as those born male with gender dysphoria. But why not go further with your type of discrimination, right? So that's the conversation, right? That's bullying. She's not talking anti-trans at all. She's talking about women's rights, the right to be able to speak in the bathroom, the right to be able to say, I don't want to be around someone that has a penis when I'm naked changing in the bathroom, right? Me, as a butch lesbian, I get that a lot. Women are uncomfortable with me and I feel it because women have that intuition. And if they're uncomfortable with me, I don't go, too bad, the law says I could be in here. It's a woman's bathroom, so go ahead and change. I wouldn't do that. So it's basic respect and dignity. It's not discrimination. It's interesting. A lot of people make this point, but I don't understand it. And straight men making the point, it just to me sounds even more abusive. As to belonging in a dressing room, trans women face higher risks if they are in a male locker room than female risks. Okay. The elephant in the room here. So if a trans woman is safer in a woman's locker room, what are they safe from? Men? Yeah, but that's straight men. Okay, but if a straight man can be like a predator and be horrible, like the ones that these trans women are afraid of, if one day they can identify as a woman and the next day not, aren't they to be afraid of? So why can't these women be afraid? It's not saying whether the person's going to hurt them or not, or whether the person is, pedophilic or anything negative like that. It's saying that there's an opportunity for people who are that way. Okay, so when people make the argument that trans women are not safe in men's bathrooms, why? Because men are stronger? Men might rape them? Men might hurt them? Well, but women don't have a right to have that same fear? That argument is just incredibly, like tone deaf. That's the word I'm looking for. And it's all about men having more rights. Men that identify as women need to feel safe from men that might hurt them. But women don't have the right to feel safe around men who identify women that they might be afraid of. It's a little bit weird. So it says then a female, if they have a trans female in their locker room. Okay. I've interviewed quite a few men. I mean, I don't know, maybe you know a lot more, but I haven't found one man yet that's comfortable with me in their locker room, naked next to them, watching them change with, my breasts and everything, just staring at them or watching them change, just because I would maybe identify as a man. It's just not a thing. Anyway, just some on that comment.